Good day to Dr. Fong, Mr. Daniel, and my friend. I'm Wen Xing, and I come from Occurrence 1, Group 2 of the course Healthy Planet, Healthy Life. Today, I'm going to present my group mini project, which is Greenhouse Gas Analytic. Let me first introduce our mini project. This project aims to let students measure and understand the sources of greenhouse gas emission in the University of Malaya. The project objective is not only let us to learn how to identify and calculate for the greenhouse gas emissions, but also to raise awareness among the students and staff about the significance of lowering GHG amount within the campus. For your information, UM used GHG protocol methodology to measure Scope 1 and Scope 2 GHG emissions. For the project overview, we took the overall durations from week 11 until week 14. This project scope involved three key activities, which are data collection, data analysis, and interpretations, following by the recommendations. At first, we planned to get the data from Faculty of Science, but after numerous efforts have been tried via visiting the counter, phone call, and sending the email to various faculty, we still failed to get the data. So we had to use the data of JPPHB field data in 2022. I will explain more on how we manage our project throughout the whole process. First, in the planning phase, we develop a proposal to outline the project scope and tasks. We also create a realistic schedule to set the deadline for each task. Everyone has a clear role and responsibility. For example, Wei Hang and Yoshana were responsible for collecting the data from Faculty of Science, while me and Ilakia were responsible for measuring and analyzing the emission data. Next, moving to the data collecting phase, we approach to the Faculty of Science through the method of visiting the office, phone calling, and sending the emails, but we face a problems of data unavailability. So we adjust our plans and we go visiting the front counter of Faculty of Sport and Exercise Science. Unfortunately, we still fail to get the data. So under these situations, we had to seek the suggestion from one of our instructor, Mr. Daniel, and under his assistance, we successfully get the JPPHB field data in 2022. We have provided all the evidence about our efforts in approaching various faculty to get the data. So first is Faculty of Science. We have visited Institute of Biological Science Block J11 and J7. We also contact via phone call, just a call to the Central for Research in Waste Management, and also send the email to the Deputy Dean of Research, Institute of Biological Science. The second one is Faculty of Sport and Exercise Science. We have visited to their front counter and also contact them via the email to the Department of Development and ICT and also the Research and Innovations. Moving to the calculation phase, I had differentiated the time of fuel they used by the different transportations. For example, petrol engine is mostly used by the private owned car or motorcycle, where the diesel engine is often used by the truck, van, and bus. We also utilize the Excel function to calculate for the total petrol usage, total diesel usage, total greenhouse gas petrol, total greenhouse gas diesel, and the total monthly greenhouse gas emissions from UM. Moving to the last phase, which is analysis and interpretations phase, we create table and two graph to each for the analytic and interpretations of the trends. We also give suggestions and recommendations for UM to enhance its sustainability. So in the Excel document, you will see the transportations are separated into two color sections. The yellow color represents the transportation that use the petrol engine, while the green color one represents the transportation that use the diesel engine. So in the below part, we had calculate for the total petrol usage and total diesel usage in liter, and also their respective greenhouse gas from petrol and greenhouse gas from the diesel. Next, we create a table to sum up their respective total amount. The left-hand side shows the formula that we have used in calculations, which the emissions equal to the quantity of fuel consumed times the emission factor. For petrol, we use the emission factor of 2.3228, while for diesel, we use the emission factor of 2.60. To ease for the visualization, we have created two graphs. First graph shows the UM Scope 1 emissions in 2022, in which the greenhouse gas petrol is shown in the yellow color bar, while the greenhouse gas for diesel is shown in the green color bar. And then the second graph shows the total money scope 1 emissions of UN, in which it is already sum up the total greenhouse gas for petrol and also diesel. So from this graph, we can identify the trend and identify which is the higher points and lower point of the greenhouse emissions by UN in 2022. We had come up with the result of data analytic and interpretations. For example, the amount of greenhouse gas emission from petrol was getting more constant from May until December in 2022, while the amount of greenhouse gas emission from diesel in the later half of year 2022 was apparently higher compared to the first half of year 2022. And the next, the total Scope 1 greenhouse gas emissions of UN reached the lowest in April and highest in June. There were large transport activity carried by lorry and van in June that led to the highest diesel fuel usage and the highest total greenhouse gas emissions in that month. After doing all the analytic and interpretations of result, we give recommendations on improvement for UM. For example, provide more shuttle service in the campus to promote public transport and carpooling. The third point is engage with the local community in sustainability projects such as tree planting and clean up drive. The seventh point, provide incentive for students and staff who adopt greener commuting habits. The eighth point, prioritize on local sourcing of material and food to reduce transportation emissions. And the 10th point is prefer environmental friendly product or goods and limit the use of single-use plastic and other non-recyclable materials. Our project achievement is accomplish the calculations of total fuel usage in petrol and diesel and total greenhouse gas emission from each fuel type. Second one is study the trend of total money scope 1 emissions by UM in 2022. Third one is give analytic and interpretation of data through presenting the graph and table. Last one is provide opinion and suggestions on how UM can enhance its GHG emission reductions. Through this mini project, I tend to explore various types of greenhouse gas and learn how it leads to the global warming and climate change. I also utilize the Excel and graph for doing the data analysis and interpretations. In terms of soft skill, I enhance my teamwork and communication skill, especially when I need to communicate the problem with my team members. I also realize the importance of time management to get the work done in a timely manner. For collaboration and teamwork, everyone had put the effort in data collecting process and calculating the GHG emission data. However, I think our members need to improve the communication throughout the whole project to adapt different unfavorable situations. For example, we need to always update our progress in the WhatsApp group so that everyone can keep on track and give the assistance to each others. In conclusion, this mini project offered me insightful knowledge and practical skill. The most important is that I should be more practicing for my project management skill, leadership, and also enhance my problem solving skill to find a solution for the challenges. In a nutshell, this greenhouse gas analytic mini project bumped us into the concern of environmental impact on our planet and motivate us to take action into this issue. Below attack is a Excel document link which allow doctor to access to our group work done. That's all from my mini project presentation. I hope you all enjoy it and thank you for listening. Goodbye.